You sit down to work on that one big project. You open your laptop, and then you check your phone, just for a minute. An hour later, you're still scrolling, and that crucial task is still untouched. You're not lazy. In fact, you probably care a great deal. So why does this keep happening? We often label this habit laziness, but that's a misconception that makes the problem worse. Procrastination is actually a predictable conflict deep within your brain. Research shows that constant task switching trains our minds to seek novelty, making focused work feel increasingly difficult and stressful. Our brains are hardwired to prioritize immediate comfort over future rewards, a trait that was useful for survival but is disastrous for modern productivity. This natural tendency, amplified by endless notifications, is called present bias. We value now far more than later, so the discomfort of starting feels immediate and certain, while the benefit of finishing seems distant and vague. Your brain, in a flawed cost-benefit analysis, chooses delay. This internal conflict has been our downfall for millennia. To see it play out clearly, let's examine the allegory of the king's friend, a clinical dissection of procrastination in action. Long ago, a generous king met an old classmate now living in poverty and bitterness. The man blamed luck, people, fate, everything except his own choices. The king, wanting to help, made a simple offer. Before sunset today, take as much gold from my treasury as you can carry. Whatever you collect is yours. The man's eyes lit up. Limitless wealth was within reach. He hurried home, already dreaming of riches. Watch what happens next. His wife urged him to leave at once, but he said, "I'm hungry. Let me eat first." Present bias won round one. Immediate comfort over future gain. After the meal, he felt sleepy. "I'll take a quick nap," he decided. Round two to comfort. Hours slipped away. When he finally left for the palace, the sun was high and the road hot. He rested under a tree and, lulled by the breeze, fell asleep again. Each small, reasonable delay felt harmless, yet together they formed a cascade that carried him past the deadline. By the time he reached the palace gates, the sun had set and the doors were locked. He had lost a fortune, not to misfortune, but to a series of just 5 more minutes. The moral is stark. Time is the one resource you can never reclaim. Understanding the problem, however, is only half the battle. The real question is, how do we rewire this pattern? The secret to beating procrastination isn't about finding motivation. It's about making the first move so small that motivation becomes irrelevant. Below are 3 tools that short-circuit present bias and turn later into right now. Tool 1, the 10-minute rule. Promise yourself you will work on the dreaded task for only 10 minutes. That's it. A timer and a single step. Open the document, write the first sentence, sketch the outline. What happens? The mental wall collapses. Once inertia is broken, the brain prefers continuity over stopping, so 10 minutes often stretches into 30. Action produces the dopamine that waiting never will. Tool 2. If-then planning. Vague intentions die in the calendar. Convert them into conditional statements. If it is 7 p.m., then I will sit at my desk and email 3 potential clients. Stating the cue and the response ahead of time moves the behavior from the conscious, effortful system to the automatic, habitual system. You no longer decide, you simply execute when the clock strikes 7. Tool 3. Microtask deconstruction. Write thesis is a monster. Find 3 sources and save them to a folder is a mouse. Break every project until the very next action takes less than 15 minutes. Small wins stack, anxiety falls, and the project becomes a series of doable yellow brick steps instead of a distant, intimidating castle. Apply the trio, and you duplicate the boy's transformation. He set a timer for 10 minutes, read 1 page, then another. He told himself, if the bell rings, then I review what I highlighted. Weeks compounded. Unfinished assignments turned into submitted work, low grades into scholarships, shame into quiet confidence. Family praise and peer respect were side effects. The real prize was a new identity, someone who keeps promises to himself. Today, pick one task that has been loitering in your mind. Define the smallest possible action. Write an if-then plan and set a 10-minute timer. Expect friction. Greet it like a familiar neighbor, then start anyway. Momentum is time's best friend. Procrastination, its worst enemy. Time shapes destinies in minutes, not years. Guard the minutes, and the years take care of themselves. If this breakdown helped you, comment the task you will tackle for 10 minutes today. Hit like to reinforce your commitment, and share the video with anyone who believes they are just lazy. Stay patient, stay grateful, and keep moving forward, one focused 10-minute block at a time.